Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead video, and today we talk about Carol and why I believe that Carol will save Daryl in the Daryl Dixon spin-off, Rise the Dead. What we already know about Rise the Dead is that at least 2 seasons take place in France, as they were already filming season 2 back to back with season 1, and that also takes place in France. So with the rumours with Carol and Melissa McBride not being done with the role, and we'll see Carol sooner than later, it looks like Carol might have to travel to France to be in the Raise the Dead show, and it's not going to be a one and done in France and then back in America show. You could try and argue that Carol could get her own spin-off of all these hints. However, Raise the Dead was originally meant to be a Daryl and Carol spin-off until she later dropped out. She also couldn't be in the Rick and Michonne spin-off, as that is already 1 season and already starting to film. If we knew she would be in that spin-off, we would probably know by now, and it wouldn't work for Fear, as Fear is already finished filming and is over. And the Maggie and Negan show wouldn't make much sense for Carol to pair up, as Maggie, Negan and Carol don't really have any connections, so the only spin-off that makes sense for us to see Carol again is Raise the Dead. However, the biggest issue about this spin-off is that it's in France. So this is why I believe that when Carol eventually joins the show near the end of season 2 or in season 3, her plot will be solely about her trying to find Daryl, and the episodes will maybe have 1 in France, 1 in America. What I believe will happen in this when they eventually introduce Carol is that we will have her in America trying to find Daryl, and it'll be about her following this paper trail of all these characters and meeting people while traveling through the United States until near the end of the season she eventually finds out Daryl has been abducted and taken to France. Carol would then obviously try and get to France to go save Daryl, and this is why I believe that Carol will be the reason that Daryl eventually gets home. Daryl will not save himself. Carol will save him. She will go over to France, maybe the end of season 2 or season 3 more likely, and you have a final 4th season where they're together again, they're finishing off what they got in France, and then Carol takes Daryl back home to America. And that could really just be the entire show of Raise the Dead. Have the first 2 seasons about Daryl in France, introduce Carol at the end of season 2 in season 3, have a season of her trying to find Daryl in America, and then season 4 where they finally reunite, then finishing off what they got in France, and then have them go back to America. Raise the Dead is not meant to be a long-running show, and all these spin-offs are meant to be about 4 to 5 seasons max. And I don't think if they did another season with maybe Carol being in France for 2 seasons and having them struggle, it would just be kind of repeating itself. So definitely have Carol be the savior for Daryl, getting in there and kind of getting out makes a lot more sense for the story, and that's definitely the only way I could see them writing in Carol to the story in a smart way, because if they just have her teleport to France in, let's say, season 3 and season 2, it will be so dumb. They need to have her explain how she got there. Maybe they could try and work around it by having her teleport in and then have flashback episodes explain how she found her way to France, but I definitely think it is important for us to see how she gets to France, because if she teleports there, it would be so dumb and would ruin the show a little. And if I was writing Raise the Dead, this is how I would write it. 2 seasons with Daryl, Carol in America, Carol and Daryl reunite, start season 4, and it's about them escaping. It's that simple. And tell me your thoughts down below. What do you think about my little predictions for Raise the Dead? Do you agree that Carol is going to save Daryl and she's going to go to France, get Daryl and take him home? Or do you think Daryl is going to save himself and get back to America without the help of Carol? I'd like to know all your thoughts and opinions down below, and make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all Walking Dead content and to help out the channel. But this is it for me today, so goodbye, peace out, and I'll talk to you in my next video.